Hey guys, so this is me and the cat that was over here for a couple days. This is my roommate's brother's cat, and she just got fixed, even though she's like 5 years old, I think, at this point. But she was an absolute delight, and I'm not saying that sarcastic. She was. I mean, it sucked. I had to keep her in my room because Sam was like, and she could not do anything out there. And because obviously she had she was healing because she was stitched up. We couldn't risk it. We couldn't risk him slashing at her and just pulling the freaking stitches out. So the last thing we needed was her insides on the outside. So she stayed with me, but she was really really sweet. I knew her when she was a little baby, when she was just a kitten. That was when her my roommate's brother was still living in his other house. And she's also got a problem with her eye. It's like film over it, glossed over. It's like white. But she's like the sweetest thing ever. This is the kind of cat where I'm laying down. She just like I'm laying down. I got my hand like this. I'm sleep or laying there, and I've got the pillow in between because I used to you know sleep with my arm closed like that, and I'd wake up and like my inner you know my inner would be like completely red and dry, so I sleep with a pillow in between. But she would come over, and she was like last night, she was like coming over, and she was like pawing at me, trying to get my hand to move so that way I could pet her, and so that way she could, scoot there. And she would curl up with me, and she'd be like headbutt me, and I just, but she's such a great cat. You know, I love cats. I love pussy. But her name was I think it's Itsy. I call her Itsy Bitsy, Itsy Bitsy Mitzi. But she's so tiny. But I think it's from all the inbreeding. Her My roommate's brother never got really any of his cats fixed, so they just kept having babies and having babies. And unfortunately, I think her eye problem is just one of the side effects of having so many inbred kittens. But like I said, she was a delight to have. But she had to go home today because like I said earlier, I started my job today, and I put her. She had her little carrier bag, and I put it on the uh, washing machine. And my roommate was in the bathroom, and the door's partially open, and I kind of yelling. I'm on the outside, I'm like, hey, you gotta like take her back today or something, next door because I gotta work today. She's like, where are you working? I'm like, Dollar Tree. She's like, okay, well, I was gonna take her back anyway. I'm gonna lock her in his room, and you know, because he's got his room. It's completely. I mean, it's safe in there. He doesn't really have much in there. I think he's got like a nightstand and a bed. But in here, I have my desk, which is jagged edges. I've got my stand over here, jagged edges. I've got my side table over here, jagged edges. And the last thing I need is a cat in here by themselves, trying to jump, slipping, and slicing themselves open. So that's the last thing I need. But her brother is a truck driver, and he'll be home tomorrow. So she's just got to stay in the room till tomorrow. It's safe in there. It's a big room. Uh, she's gonna have food, and water, and litter, and so it's bed on the ground so she doesn't have to jump. So it's perfectly fine. But I don't know what happened to this cat. I haven't seen him in months. So the two cats I showed you guys outside, the browner ones, I think I said this, but they're dead. One died like a month, 2 months ago, and it was like I'm still sad about that because my landlady comes over here. It was her cats, and she's like, John, said something about Johnson being gone or missing. I'm like, yeah, I think he's dead. She's like, oh, okay. And I'm thinking, who the fuck responds like that about their cat being dead? A cat that was like 15 years old. How? And then Minnie, the female one, same thing. She hasn't been seen. It's possible she crawled under the house and died. We don't know. No one's seen her. And this cat, I don't even know. Now, this cat is across the street, so I think maybe they just took him inside, due to weather or heat, or, because it was starting to get hot. So I don't know. Maybe he's inside. But I haven't seen this cat in ages. Like all these cats are either dying, disappearing, or whatever. Sam, he's so handsome. Just a suffer. I really should post. I'm like the crazy cat dude. Seriously, my little Sylvanas, my dark lady Sylvanas. She is. She's evil. She knows she's evil. Hee hee hee. Now she really hasn't changed much since she was a baby, except her head grew. When she was a baby, her eyes. We basically called her an owl because her eyes were huge, and her head, well, wasn't. So, yeah, Winston. I miss Winston. Sam. I think that was like not too long after we got him. It was like a year or so after. I just went outside. I went into the kitchen and I was going to make my lunch or something. I just saw him dancing, spinning around in the in the wrappings for this. I'm like, Sam, what are you doing, silly boy? Yeah, DC's Hawaiian. Fight me. Like I've said, Hawaiian pizza is perfectly good. When you're going and eating pizza and you're eating pepperoni and maybe bacon or sausage or whatever, this this right here, the pineapple with its sweetness and bit of a tanginess, it cuts through that savory flavor and it helps you get down some more pizza because that's one way to do it. You have to split up the flavors. So when I order pizza, I don't order the same kind for each one. I'll order like three pizzas for myself, and each one will be different. And I'm not going to just eat all pepperoni first. No, I'll eat like one pepperoni, one, bacon, one meatball or whatever it is I order. To just split up flavors. So pineapple having something sweet amongst all the savoriness, it's good to have. But yeah, like I said, she was a delight to have. She really was. But she was so lovey-dovey. She just wanted attention the entire time. We stayed on the bed, and she just was making biscuits the entire time. Just making biscuits. I mean, my room is full of biscuits now. I don't know. I mean, if you guys want some biscuits, let me know. The cat made plenty of them, and she also made them on. Also, look what Sam did to me today. I got home, and Sam was so happy because he hasn't been able to get in here for like 2 days because of Itsy. But the first thing he does is want to play, and first thing he does is that. I can only imagine what it looked like when I went to Dollar General and I'm, dealing with taking the card in. They see the big old fucking gash. They're probably like, dude, why are you hurting yourself? It wasn't me, man. It's the cat. Okay, keep telling yourself that. But yeah, I love cats. I love dogs. What was your first? If you guys have animals, or if you did, what was your first animal? Mine was technically we had Rusty and Casey, which were they were cats, but my first animal was a gerbil named Binks, and we got him, and then my parents thought it was a good idea to get a female, so then we got a black gerbil named Jinx, and then they had babies, and we gave most away, and then we kept one. His name was what was his name? It was Binks, Jinx, and Winks because he had this like thing with his eye that he kept doing that. So it was Binks, Jinx, and Winks. See, clever names, right? And yeah, but they got out of their like those plastic um containers that you would keep mice and gerbils and they chewed through the side. We couldn't keep them in a plastic, you know, cage or anything. Even if they had all this stuff to do, they would just chew through the side. They got out so many times. And then the one day they got down all the way downstairs somehow and they got into the closet in the kitchen. I think I've said this before, but for people who haven't watched me, we had to clear everything out. And it was this was like one of those walk-in closets. It was pretty far, like 6 feet, 6 feet in, I think. And they were all the way in the back. So we had to clear everything out. And then they are huddled in the corner. I go to grab him. He bites onto my finger, and there he is. She's like, and my mom has to like lick him in his fucking balls to get him off me. Um, but it's not a good feeling having, you know, my mom's like, get off him. Yeah, the first animals I think I had was Rusty and Casey, and then Binks was my first animal, and then my second animal was Sakura, which I don't have any pictures of of her on here. Actually, hang on, let me bring up Sakura. So this is Sakura, and as you can see, I really haven't changed much. Still got my long hair. I've still got rocking the pedophile beard, which is what they would call it on the left. But this is Sakura. She didn't make it very long. She had cancer in her throat, so this was right around when she died. Um, but yeah, she was like 6 months when I got her, and then she died. Uh, we went to Jersey. I was only there for maybe half a year or so. I think maybe it was like her first or second birthday that she wasn't even 2 years old yet before she died. So that's Sakura. That's Sakura. Let's see what else. Yes, this is my Facebook, but no, don't bother. I don't have anyone really on my Facebook. Everyone on my Facebook is family and friends, so don't bother. This was Naya, and she was a Rottweiler Doberman, and she was super protective, very protective. Like if you went to just raise your hand to me, she would. And she didn't do it with anyone else. I mean, she did it with my stepdad, like if he did the same thing to him, but everyone else, she would not give a flying fuck. I could smack my mom, and she just sits there. My mom smacks me, and so she was very protective of me. And as you can see, she was a big girl. She was a big girl. This was I lived in California right here. Was that I think it was either that was either the iguana's cage or Bella and Brandy, which were the rabbits. I can't remember which one we. I think that was the iguana's cage. Pretty sure. But yeah, we had an iguana. For some reason, the iguanas there never lived very long. Even if you took care of them properly, they got mites, and even if the light was perfect, for some reason, just got the mites on them, the little red mites. They never lasted long. So I think we'll end on Sam here. Why are we here? Just to suffer. Yeah, I don't even know what he was looking at. Except I think when your cat starts having Vietnam flashbacks, yeah, he was sitting right here and he was just staring up. I don't know what he was staring at. I'm sitting there like I thought maybe he saw a bug or a piece of dust floating around or something or hair. But I look up, I'm like, what's he looking at? He's just like, he's a good boy though. Apart from doing that to me. But anyways, yeah, what was your first pet? Let me know below. Thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. And I'll see you guys next time.